Okay, the second one. How is a monk unskilled in characteristics? Here a monk does not understand as it actually is thus. A fool is characterized by his actions. A wise man is characterized by his actions. That is how a monk is unskilled in characteristics. So here it means this monk, he cannot distinguish between a foolish teacher or a wise teacher, or a teacher cannot distinguish between a foolish disciple or a wise disciple. So this is unskilled in characteristics. Just like the cowherd, he does not know what is good breed, what is bad breed. Number 3, how does a monk fail to pick out flies' eggs? Here, when a thought of sensual desire has arisen, a monk tolerates it. He does not abandon it, remove it, do away with it, and annihilate it. When the thought of ill will has arisen, when the thought of cruelty has arisen, when evil, unwholesome states have arisen, a monk tolerates them. He does not abandon them, remove them, do away with them, and annihilate them. That is how a monk fails to pick out flies' eggs. Stop here for a moment. As I mentioned earlier, flies' eggs on the body of this cattle, if you don't remove them quickly, they will hatch into maggots, and the maggots will eat the flesh and kill the cattle. So in the same way, just like flies' eggs, and these unwholesome thoughts, if we tolerate them, they will proliferate and then eat away all the goodness in us, and all the spiritual good in us will die out. So we, just like the flies' eggs, we have to know these unwholesome thoughts have the potential to do a lot of harm to us. Number 4, how does a monk fail to dress wounds? Here, on seeing a form with the eye, a monk grasps at its signs and features. Even though when he leaves the eye faculty unguarded, evil, unwholesome states of covetousness and greed might invade him. He does not practice the way of its restraint. He does not guard the eye faculty. He does not undertake the restraint of the eye faculty. On hearing a sound with the ear, smelling an odor with the nose, tasting a flavor with the tongue, touching a tangible with the body, cognizing a mind object with the mind, he grasps at its signs and features. Even though when he leaves the faculties unguarded, evil, unwholesome states of covetousness and greed might invade him. He does not practice the way of their restraint. He does not guard the faculties. He does not undertake the restraint of the faculties. That is how a monk fails to dress wounds. Stop here for a moment. Here, our 6 senses are always stabbed, attacked by these objects of the senses, forms, sounds, smells, taste, touch, and thoughts. So, because they impinge on us, just like a wound, they can fester. So we have to guard our faculties. So don't see too much, don't hear too much, don't smell too much, eat too much, etc. So for example, when you go Pindapata, don't look everywhere. Suppose when you go Pindapata, you're supposed to put your eye just 6 feet away from you, look down. When people offer you food also, and don't look at them in the face, unless you know them very well. Number 5, how does a monk fail to smoke out the shits? Here, a monk does not teach others in detail the Dhamma as he has learned it and mastered it. That is how a monk fails to smoke out the shits. So here, the Buddha is saying that a monk should teach the Dhamma to others. Whatever Dhamma Vinaya he has learned, he should teach to others, so that he has a healthy, we have a healthy Sangha. This in fact the Sangha of wrong views. Number 6, how does a monk not know the watering place? Here a monk does not go from time to time to those monks who have learned much, who are well versed in the tradition, who maintain the Dhamma Vinaya, and he does not inquire and ask questions of them thus. How is this, venerable sir? What is the meaning of this? And these venerable ones do not reveal to him what has not been revealed, do not clarify what is not clear, or remove his doubts about the numerous things that give rise to doubt. That is how a monk does not know the watering place. How does stop here for a moment. So the watering place is a place where you can quench your thirst and drink water. In the same way, the watering place for monks is learned senior monks who know the Dhamma, who know the Vinaya. So if you don't know, you should go to these senior monks and clarify your doubts. How does a monk not know what it is to have drunk? Here, when the Dhamma Vinaya proclaimed by the Tathagata is being taught, a monk does not gain inspiration in the meaning, does not gain inspiration in the Dhamma, does not gain gladness connected with the Dhamma. That is how a monk does not know what it is to have drunk. Stop here for a moment. So, if you listen to the Dhamma and the Vinaya, you should gain inspiration and be glad and appreciate. There are some people, they maybe their what is called their roots are too shallow. They don't have the what later books call the paramis, the good qualities. So when they meet the Dhamma, they don't appreciate that the Dhamma is so valuable, so good. There's nothing more valuable than the Dhamma. So they are not glad. They don't gain inspiration in the Dhamma. This is like the cattle, the cowherd doesn't know what it is to have drunk. How does a monk not know the road? Here a monk does not understand the Noble Eightfold Path as it actually is. That is how a monk does not know the road. So this is the spiritual road, the Noble Eightfold Path. How is a monk unskilled in pastures? Here a monk does not understand the four intense states of recollection as they actually are. That is how a monk is unskilled in pastures. A monk's domain, a monk's pasture, is the Buddha says, is the four satipatthana. The four satipatthana. We should put our attention always on either the body or the feelings or the mind or the Buddha Dhamma, these four objects of recollection. So we don't stray out of these four objects that is staying within our pasture. How does a monk milk dry? Here, when faithful householders invite a monk to take as much as he likes of robes, alms, food, resting places, and medicinal requisites, the monk does not know moderation in accepting. That is how a monk milks dry. So, too greedy for these offerings, a monk milks dry and later he will not get any more. How does a monk show no extra veneration to those elder monks of long standing who have long gone forth, the fathers and leaders of the Sangha? Here a monk does not maintain bodily acts of loving kindness, both openly and privately towards those elder monks. He does not maintain verbal acts of loving kindness towards them, openly and privately. He does not maintain mental acts of loving kindness towards them, both openly and privately. That is how a monk shows no extra veneration to those elder monks of long standing who have long gone forth, the fathers and leaders of the Sangha. When a monk possesses these 11 qualities, he is incapable of growth, increase and fulfillment in this Dhamma Vinaya.